Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium of Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Casey Lavin, Garrett Dworshak, and Dale Hummel. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to the South Division Championship game of the West Coast League between the Corvallis Knights and the Portland Pickles on a warm but heading to warmer weekend weather here in the Mid-Valley. 90 degrees as we get ready to see the first pitch to be delivered by Caden Siegel of the hometown Knights, who are seeking their 7th consecutive West Coast League championship. They're in this position by virtue of spotting Cowlitz one game on Tuesday at Story Field in Longview, and then coming back with thrilling wins on Wednesday and Thursday to put themselves in a position to claim their 7th consecutive championship. They need to win tonight over Portland and then play here Monday against either Victoria or Bellingham for the championship game of the West Coast League in the summer of 2023. In the Knights' victory Wednesday over Cowlitz, one of the key plays in the game occurred in the 9th inning with relief pitcher Zach Johnson, the pride of West Lynn, Lake Ridge High School, the Kevin Gunderson Baseball School. Zach Johnson made an athletic play, an instinctive play to begin a rundown with a runner at third, and the Black Bears putting a great deal of pressure on the Knights in that situation. Zach Johnson's instincts and fine play helped turn that inning and, in a sense, helped bring the Knights home in Game 2. Zach Johnson, who is on his way to Utah Valley from the University of Portland out of Lake Ridge High School, will be our pregame show guest for the first time this summer. We'll hear Zach's story about his journey to Orem, Utah, and a little bit about his background with Gundy and his experience with the Corvallis Knights. All of that is coming up on this beautiful summer evening. We're grateful you've joined us and look forward to doing this again on Monday. But to get to Monday, the Knights need to win here tonight. It's a beautiful, warm night for baseball. We hope you're on your way to the ballpark. The Knights and the Pickles for the South Division Championship, with Zach Johnson coming up in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Welcome back into Goss Stadium of Coleman Field. A beautiful, warm summer night. The South Division Championship game between the Corvallis Knights and the Portland Pickles, a one-game affair. The Knights lost at Cowlitz, then came back and won the next 2. It's been a pleasure all season long to get to know some of the Knights players. It's taken this long to finally come around and get to meet officially Zach Johnson. But, Zach, you had a huge play in Game 2 against Cowlitz where you demonstrated
quickness, athletic ability to get into that rundown, to get the big out you guys really needed in that second game. So that's the more immediate thing. I kind of want to get into your whole story and what's next for you. But let's start with that play and how you kind of, what kicked in for you in terms of instincts or whatever to go get that out in that kind of odd rundown.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a two-way player my entire life, so I've been, I know how to be athletic and get, I have some fielding experience and everything. So, yeah, I was just using my speed, trying to get the guy, yeah.
Did you see it out of the peripheral when you fielded the ball like, oh, he's way off, I can get him?
Well, I saw him in the peripherals. I faked, and then I went back and got him, and he was far enough off to where I was just like, okay, let's get in a rundown. So, yeah, I was confident.
When you got that out, that seemed to settle things down. I don't know about you. I mean, it's a little iffy there. They'd come back and beaten you the game before. Now here they get a couple of hits. Did you feel like, okay, we got him now?
Yeah, definitely. I was coming out. I was a little nervous, but, I always have nerves when I pitch, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. But I just, after that out, I was like, okay, let's go. I gotta do my thing and get it done.
And you did, and then, of course, you guys did it again, and now here you are with a chance to win the South Division and play Monday for the championship. How much does that mean to you, this opportunity tonight, a chance to win a 7th straight? What does it mean to you? What do you think it means to that group of guys in the clubhouse behind it?
I think it means everything. I mean, we had a big meeting today before the game, and we were, everyone stood up and talked about what they want, and we all wanted the ring. We all want the ring at the end of the day, and we're a family. We all have each other's backs. It's truly a family here, and we're excited to be here and get things done. Yeah.
Zach Johnson, my guest, and Zach, you were telling me that you've been aware of this organization for a long time through the connection with one of the true greats of all time at Oregon State and what he's given back to so many people in the great Kevin Gunderson. Tell me a little bit about your connection with Gundy, how far back it goes. You knew about him with the Knights. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with him, how far back it goes.
Yeah. I think I was 8 years old, and we were trying to find, we went to different pitching coaches to see, what's a good fit and, just trying to get work in. And we went to a Metro, which was, I don't think it exists anymore, but he was working there at the time. I was actually getting hitting lessons from Coach Dog, who's there. That's what we called him. And, he was there, and we needed a pitching coach. So we talked with him, got lessons in, and really liked him, clicked first thing. So
how has he helped you? What are some of the methods and the things he's done to help you develop your craft?
Yeah. He is a genius. I think everything he did when I was younger was to set me up for today, and I feel like I don't have to worry about my mechanics as much and just focus on a more mental aspect of the game, because he's helped me so much of habits to get into and just how to work with mechanics and stuff. So,
and then here with Coach Yoon and his methods, and Bo Kearns and Brooke Knight as the head coach, and Coach Nags and so on. What has this summer been like for you in terms of how they have all impacted and helped you develop?
Yeah, they've helped me out so much. Last year when I was at Portland, or this last spring, I didn't really I couldn't find my way, and I was screwing up a little bit too much. And when I got here, I made a couple mistakes to begin with too, but Uni and Coach Knight and Bo and Nags helped me through it. They helped me to keep discipline and really just not be a dirty fish in the pond is what our analogy was. So I've been trying the best I can to keep disciplined and really compete with the team. So
it's been evident. It's been fun to watch your growth and development throughout the summer. But during the summer, early in the season, a new opportunity came your way. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I wasn't a big fan of the school experience that I got at Portland. So I wanted to change the scenery. I was too close to home, and so I entered the transfer portal and was looking to go to Utah or California, because I got a lot of family in Utah, and so I was really excited to try to get there and talk to Utah Valley, talk to BYU, And luckily, Coach Eddie Smith was able to, you know, watch me on the Synergy, which is like the transfer portal like site, and yeah, he gave me a call, and you know, we talked for a little bit, and yeah.
How excited are you about the opportunity there in terms of the role you may have, and what sort of your goals and expectations are going to Utah Valley?
I mean, when I talked to Coach Eddie, he said, "Do you like to win?" And that was like, you know, it might seem like an easy question, but yeah, I just really like that he brought that up, and that made me want to go there even more, because yes, I'm a very competitive guy, and I would love to win. And so yeah, I want to go win the WAC championship and get into regional.
Good for you. I love the sound of that. Zach, the final thing you mentioned, going to Portland might have been a little too close to home. You want to venture out. You're going to get that chance in Orem, Utah. But did you you went to Lake Ridge High, I know that, but did you grow up in Lake Oswego? I mean, is that the only hometown you've known?
No, I actually was a Westland guy for my entire life. So yeah, 8-year-olds, All-Stars, Westland All-Stars, all the way up till yeah, sophomore year. I went to Westland for freshman, sophomore year, and then same thing. I kind of just wanted to change. Didn't really like the coach at Westland, but so that was a good reason to transfer. But you know, change of scenery, try to get something new, and yeah.
Well, the big change of scenery is coming, but you have business to finish here first, right? How are you up tonight? Are you hot in terms of, hey, if they need you, you're ready? Is it more Monday that you're ready, or are you just on call for both of these games?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many innings I have left, but I think I have enough to, you know, be hot both days, is what Coach Bo is saying. So I'm going to be hot tonight. Yeah, I'm going to compete and try to get that dub, yeah.
It's great to talk to you, Zach. I've enjoyed watching you pitch. I love the athletic ability, and really excited for you and the new opportunity ahead. Thanks for taking time to talk about with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Zach Johnson, my guest on the pregame show. The starting lineups for this South Division Championship game between the Knights and Pickles just around the corner on a warm Saturday evening. Great to have you with us on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio.
Right-hander Caden Siegel getting ready for the following starting lineup as announced by Portland Pickles head coach Mark Magdaleno. Leading off in left field, Nigel Calderon. Batting second at shortstop, Alejandro Garza. Dalton Mayshore hitting third, the designated hitter. Evan Cloyd, the cleanup hitter at first base. Josh Schleichart batting 5th at second base. Armando Briseño hitting 6th at third base. Batting 7th in right field, Andrew McKenna. Tyler Stancato, the former Corvallis Knight, hitting 8th in center field. Batting 9th and catching is Luke Bard. And on the mound for the Portland Pickles will be left-hander Brock Roundy. Caden Siegel is ready to go on this 90-degree Saturday evening for the South Division Championship, and he gets off to a good start, pumping a fastball in for a strike to Calderon, and we're underway at 6:35 on this 12th of August 2023, a one-game South Division Championship affair. Portland taking 2 from Ridgefield, while the Knights had to grind through the best of 3 and win the decisive game here Thursday. Calderon takes high. Siegel comes back with a fastball. Calderon tries to bunt and bunts foul up along first. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nigel, leading things off for the Portland Pickles. The Knights and Pickles meeting in postseason play for the second time, the last time 5 years ago. The 1-2 pitch from Caden is high, ball 2, 2-2. Calderon leading things off for the Portland Pickles and trying to set a good tone. Siegel delivers, slap foul in front of his own dugout on the first base side. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes as we get underway on a warm evening. If the Knights do play on Monday, warm will be defined and translated and evolve into hot, with possible triple digits at game time or thereabouts. The Knights certainly hope they get to experience that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nigel Calderon. Siegel delivers high and inside and runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A nice job by Calderon to see pitches. Played in 39 games during the regular season, 276 with 10 runs batted in. If he gets on, he's a danger. 16 stolen bases. He checks his swing and fouls off the 3-2 pitch to stay alive. 3-2 to Nigel. Alejandro Garza on deck with Dalton Mayshore to follow. Just getting started. Great to have you with us for playoff baseball, powered by Pioneer Connect. Caden ready in the 3-2 pitch. He lost him, ball 4. He was ahead 1-2. He walks Calderon. That's a tremendous start for the Portland Pickles as they try to become the team that finally dethrones the Knights. Corvallis has won 6 straight West Coast League championships, and we're down to the Cowlitz Black Bears 1-0 and 2-0 in game 2 before rallying, in game 3 before rallying to win it. A bunt up along first by Alejandro Garza, foul. No balls and 1 strike to Garza. Tremendous summer for Alejandro, albeit in roughly a split amount of time. He played in 26 games of the 54. Regularly scheduled games over the summer, but he hit .323 with 5 runs batted in. Caden fires over to first base, and Calderon, he of the 16 stolen bases, dives back to the bag. Just getting started. We appreciate you joining us and hope to be doing this again one more time come Monday. The pitch on the way again. The bunt is down. It's a good one on the right side. Barehanded by Caden Siegel. He overhands to Ethan Hedges at first for the out. The sacrifice recorded 1-3. Calderon into second. Dalton Mayshore, the hitter, played in 44 games during the regular season, hit .308, a couple of homers, and 28 runs batted in. Mayshore, in the 2-game sweep of Ridgefield, went 3 for 5 and scored a team high 3 runs. He was tied with several other teammates in that category. So Dalton Mayshore having a good postseason, trying to set the tone for the Pickles here in the top of the first. Caden Siegel delivers a strike to Dalton, 0-1 the count. Dalton Mayshore, right-hand hitter out of St. Mary's and from Eagle, Idaho. Nigel Calderon drawing the walk to open the game, now at second base with 1 out. Caden from the stretch, and the strike 1 pitch with a runner going to third is outside, and the throw to third is not in time, and that's well done on the part of Nigel Calderon. Got a big jump on Caden Siegel. took advantage of a relatively slow approach to the plate and not much of a check on Caden's part on the runner with respect to the lead that Calderon got. So Nigel does his job, draws a walk, steals a base, and he's at third with one out. After getting advanced to second on the sacrifice, Mayshore looks at a breaking ball strike, 1-2 the count from Caden. Evan Cloyd on deck. Caden Siegel working with his battery mate Tyler Howard. Works from the stretch with Calderon at third. Delivers the 1-2 breaking ball, foul tipped and held. Strike 3, 2 down. Big strikeout for Caden Siegel. Evan Cloyd will come to the plate. Big Evan, a left-handed hitter, strapping left-handed hitter, 6'1", 210-pounder out of, Cloyd, a right-handed hitter, coming to the plate out of Bakersfield and Cal Poly. Nigel Calderon trying to distract Caden. Nigel getting his lead coming down the line aggressively. Caden works out of the stretch and delivers low. Ball 1 to Cloyd. No score, top of the first. Evan hit .263 during the regular season, 4 homers, 27 runs batted in. He looks at a strike and the count 1-1. Siegel and Tyler Howard the battery, Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third with Ethan Hott in left, Phoenix Call in center, and Sam Stem in right. Breaking ball tapped foul at the plate and the count 1-2 to Cloyd. Caden Siegel is a strike away from getting out of the inning. He was magnificent here in Game 2 against Cowlitz on Wednesday. 3 innings a hit with 5 strikeouts and no runs. The right-hander glances over at Calderon, comes to the plate, 1-2. A pop-up into shallow right center field. Drifting over is Phoenix Call and calling and makes the catch to retire the side. Calderon gets to third with less than 2, but Nigel is stranded there. No runs, no hits, a man left after half an inning. In the South Division title game, the Pickles nothing, and the Knights coming up back in 2 to see about the first pitch from Brock Roundy to the Knights lineup, which we'll provide next. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the first inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Tyler Quinn leads things off for the Knights. No score. Left-hander Brock Roundy misses high to Tyler. The 1-0 pitch is low. Ball 2, 2-0. Tyler Quinn leading off at third base for the Knights. Batting second, Mason Lee, the second baseman. Sam Stem hitting third and right. Ethan Hedges, the cleanup hitter, at first base. The 2-0 pitch to Tyler Quinn, a ground ball to short. Alejandro Garza off the field turf. Throws across to Evan Cloyd. One away, and a nice job by Brock Roundy, falling behind 2-0, pitching to contact and getting an out. Roundy, the left-hander, getting ready to face Mason Lee. The rest of the night's lineup looks this way. Ethan Hott, batting fifth in left field. Tate Shamau hitting sixth, the DH. Tyler Howard batting seventh and catching. Phoenix Call hitting eighth in center. Tai Yukamoto batting ninth at shortstop. The first pitch to Mason Lee is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. No score in the bottom of the first. Roundy, a small sample size during the summer. 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. The pitch on the way to Lee is whacked down the left field line into the corner. It'll be an extra base hit for Mason. Nigel Calderon retrieves the baseball just to the left of the foul pole in the corner. And Mason Lee into second with a 1-out double. That'll bring Sam Stem to the plate. Sam with an opportunity to add to his team-leading RBI total. He had 42 runs batted in during the regular season. Sam in the postseason has 1 RBI, but a chance for a second here, trying to give the Knights the initial lead. Left-hander Brock Roundy comes set, glances back at Mason Lee, works the left-hand hitting Stem, a looper into left field. It'll drop for a base hit. Mason Lee rounding third. He will score without a play. And the RBI man comes through again. Sam Stem's base hit gives the Knights the lead, 1-0. Ethan Hedges, the batter. Sam Stem hitting them where they ain't. Following the dictum of old Wee Willie Keeler, now gets his lead against Roundy, who works Hedges, a soft liner caught by the shortstop Garza. The throw back to first is not in time. Ethan Hedges punches one to the left of Garza, who gathers it for the second out. Ethan Hott will be the hitter. Hedges had the clutch 2-run single to pull the Knights even in the decisive Game 3 on Thursday before Tai Yukamoto's squeeze play heroics in the bottom of the 8th. Stem has a look of a guy who wants to run. Brock Roundy certainly recognizes that and tosses over to first base, driving Sam back. Roundy and Luke Bard, the battery for the Pickles. Evan Cloyd at first, Josh Schleichart at second, Garza at short with Armando Briseño at third. Fastball grazes the jersey of Ethan Hott. A hit batter sends Ethan down to first, Sam Stem into second, and brings Tate Shamau, the designated hitter, to the plate. In the outfield for the Pickles, Nigel Calderon in left, Kyler Stancato in center, and Andrew McKenna in right. 1-0 Knights, bottom of the first inning, trying to play their way into Monday and a chance for a 7th straight West Coast League Championship. 2 on, 2 out, a run in. Roundy from the stretch delivers high and away to Tate Shamau. Ball 1, 1-0. Good crowd tonight. A much smaller gathering here for the decisive game on Thursday. Only 671 in attendance. This will be much more in line with the usual types of crowds. A little tougher in the postseason, as you know, when the games are unscheduled. The Knights drew over 1,000, 1,136 in Game 2, dropped off to 671 on Thursday, but closer to that 1,000 mark, I would think, here tonight. Shamau takes a strike, the count 1-1. 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Knights, bottom of the first. Roundy, the lefty, delivers, lifted foul off first. This is carrying towards the Omaha room and kind of between Casey Corner and Omaha. The count remains 1-2 to Tate Shamau. With 1 out, Mason Lee doubled to left and then scored on the very next pitch. Sam Stem looping a single into left field to score Lee. And now Sam at second, Ethan Hott at first, 2 down. Brock Roundy's 1-2 pitch, off speed, swung on, foul tipped and held by Luke Bard for strike 3 to retire the side. The Knights leave 2, but they push 1 home. Mason Lee a double and scores a run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. After 1 in the South Division title game, the Knights won and Portland nothing. On the Knights live stream and back in 90 on 1240 Joe Radio. One to nothing Knights as we go to the top of the second inning. Caden Siegel survived walking the Pickles leadoff hitter to open the game. He falls behind to Josh Schleichart, 2-0 to open the second. Delivers a 2-0 pitch for a strike. 2-1 the count to the right-hand hitting Schleichart, who will be followed by Armando Briseño and then Andrew McKenna. The 2-1 pitch, a big rip by Schleichart. Doesn't get it, and the count 2-2. Josh out of Lake Ridge High School and playing baseball at Clark College. The 2-2 pitch, big rip and a foul back by Schleichart. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schleichart went 2 for 8 with 3 runs scored and a double and 3 RBIs in the sweep of Ridgefield. He cues one slowly up along first, foul, getting out in front of a breaking ball, hitting it off the end of his bat. The count remains 2-2 to Schleichart, who joined the Pickles late in the summer, only played in 7 games, but enough to be eligible for the postseason. Went 3 for 19, scored 3 runs. 1-0 Knights in the second. Breaking ball, chopped foul at the plate. Schleichart doing a nice job to battle Caden to open the second inning. The Knights swept the season series, winning all 3 games here, winning all 3 ball games at an energized, pumped-up Walker Stadium at Lentz Park. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schleichart. Caden to the plate, fastball hit foul. This one is carrying towards Urchin Alley, the first action in the alley tonight. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schleichart. Caden rocks, kicks, and the right-hander to the plate. Got him swinging. Caden's second strikeout. He's retired 4 straight after the leadoff walk. And Armando Briseño will come to the plate for Portland. Knights CEO Dan Siegel watching his son Caden with that usual peripatetic approach. The peripatetic CEO. Walking throughout the game back and forth through the concourse. That helps the nerves, I'm sure. Caden delivers a strike to Armando Briseño. 0-1 the count, 1-0 Knights in the second. And it's my understanding, in fact, Dan shared the information with me, off speed and high from Caden, 1-1 the count, that the co-owners of the Pickles, Alan Miller and John Ryan, are having a watch party in Cleveland tonight. Alan is also the owner of the Lake County Captains, a high affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians. So they're gathered somewhere in the great city of Cleveland watching their Pickles tonight. Former Seahawks punter John Ryan in the ownership group with the Pickles. So great season, guys, and thanks for tuning our way tonight. It's always a pleasure to come to Walker Stadium at Lentz Park. Really one of the best atmospheres I've been around in summer ball. A fly ball to right field. Sam Stem moves over to make the catch. Brasinho retired, 2 down. Andrew McKenna, the batter. First pitch, fastball a little bit low, ball 1 to the left-hand hitting McKenna. 1-0 Knights in the second. 1 ball and no strikes. Caden working quickly, delivers. Fastball hit foul off to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andrew McKenna. 2 outs, nobody on in the second. 1-0 Knights. McKenna a long way from home. From Hinsdale, Illinois, plays his baseball at Florida Atlantic. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. The Knights picking up a run in the bottom of the first inning. Caden trying to keep the momentum rolling against the big left-handed hitter. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-2 pitch taken a little bit high. Ball 2. 2-2. Andrew McKenna, big in the sense of a good presence. He's 5'11", but 205. The 2-2 breaking ball taken. Strike 3 called to retire the side. McKenna rocks back on his heels a little bit after the call. Andrew felt the pitch was up and away, but he is rung up on a nice hook from Caden Siegel, who has retired 6 straight. And after 1.5 in the South Division title game, the Knights won and the Pickles nothing on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. One nothing Knights, bottom of the second inning. Tyler Howard leads things off against Brock Roundy, and Brock's first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 to the Knights' right-hand hitting catcher, who will be followed by Phoenix Call and then Ty Yukamoto. The strike 1 pitch. Howard, a ground ball into right field. Base hit. Andrew McKenna will get the ball back in. Nice piece of hitting by Tyler, going the other way for a leadoff single. And Phoenix Call will be the batter. Phoenix scored the winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning on the Ty Yukamoto. Not quite full suicide squeeze, but pretty close. Call with an excellent backdoor slide to get in under the tag attempt. Now he shows bunt and takes high, ball 1, 1-0. It was a controversial call in that Kelly Stinnett, the head coach for Cowlitz, felt that the throw had beaten Phoenix and the tag had been applied before Call got his hand under. But the home plate umpire saw it differently. The 1-0 pitch, Phoenix again shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 1-1. But the adept slide by Call helped key the play, and the Knights took the lead, and then Sean Weiss, a 1-2-3, top of the 9th inning. So here we are after the Pickles had an extra day off, sweeping Ridgefield in 2. Phoenix not bunting, looks at a strike. 1-2 the count. Ty Yukamoto on deck, 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the second. The Knights, if they win, would host Monday night. Such is the blessing of having the best record again in the West Coast League. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The pitch missing high, ball 2, 2-2. The Knights with the best record in the league again, going 39-15. Portland Pickles on the summer in the regular season, 28-26. The 2-2 pitch to call hits slowly to the right of the mound, fielded by Roundy. Shovels to Evan Cloyd at first for the out. So no sacrifice for Phoenix Call, but he gets one in effect in that he moves the runner. A productive out, one away, and the batter will be Tai Yukamoto, trying to add to the Knights' early lead on this warm Saturday night. We canvassed a lot of our beautiful Pacific Northwest last night and today, going up to the Mariner-Oriole game last night, watching Adley Rutschman struggle a bit, and the Mariners get hot and win big last night, 9-2. Felix Hernandez Hall of Fame weekend. Yukamoto rolls one foul outside of third, and the count 0-1. But to see Stephen Kwan, as I was able to at the start of the year when the Beavers were playing the Huskies at Husky Ballpark, the schedule coincided with the MLB opener, the Guardians and Mariners, to get to see Kwani at the start of the MLB season, and to see Adley last night, a true pleasure, even with Adley going 0 for 3 and striking out twice. Yukamoto swings and rolls one slowly foul, 0-2 the count. But a real pleasure to be in T-Mobile Park with a big crowd and lively atmosphere. The Mariners playing well. Breakfast in the community of Ballard this morning, and then the trip back. Got back in town a couple of hours ago, but a beautiful day. Hope that you've enjoyed your gorgeous midsummer day, a mid-August day, and this coming down the stretch and summer going out, it feels like with a bang here in mid-August. Triple digits coming. The strike 2 pitch to Yukamoto is strike 3 call. Good pitch by Brock Roundy, catching the outside corner, even with Ty kind of leaning over and looking at the pitch, trying to indicate that the pitch had missed outside. The home plate umpire saw it differently and rings Ty up. Nice strikeout for Brock Roundy, his second. The batter is Tyler Quinn, 1-0 Knights in the bottom of the second inning. Brock from the stretch delivers to Quinn, a fly ball to center. Kyler Stancato knows the territory, helped the Knights win it all here 2 summers ago. Drops back a few steps and makes the catch. So a leadoff single for Tyler Howard. The Knights are not able to parlay it into anything. They leave Howard at second, and after 2 in the South Division title game here in Corvallis. The Knights 1 and the Pickles 0 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Kyler Stancato, 53 games with the Knights 2 summers ago, 22 stolen bases, a big factor in the Knights winning their 4th straight championship. Leads things off against Caden Siegel here in the 3rd for the Portland Pickles. 1-0 Knights. Stancato takes the breaking ball away, ball 1. Kyler, the left-handed hitter, back in. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball drilled to right center but playable. Phoenix Call moves over and back and hauls it in. Good contact, a long out here at a pitcher's friendly ballpark. Good old Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Jim Bunning, the late great, was fond of saying, and winning a lot of ball games in Philly at Connie Mack. After getting a big win using the spacious nature of that ballpark, Bunning was wont to say, good old Connie Mack. And there are times that I'm sure pitchers say, good old Goss. The ball does not carry especially well. It's a pitcher's park and always has been. Luke Bard fouls the first pitch back. The 0-1 fastball away. And the count 1-1 to Luke, the right-hand hitting catcher. Bard out of Castle Rock, Colorado, plays at Houston Christian. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-0 Knights. Siegel delivers a fly ball to right field, medium depth. Sam Stem moves in and he grabs that one. Couple of flyouts to open the third. And Nigel Calderon, who walked to open the game, will be the hitter. It's 3:30 down both lines at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 365 to the alleys, 400 feet to straightaway center. We sat in the left field bleachers pretty high last night at T-Mobile. The pitch on the way is a fast one down to Calderon, ball 1. My wife at one point said, how far is it to dead center field here? And I said, well, 401 feet. That's what it says on the fence, 401. She asked, what is it at Goss? I said, 400. And she said, man, it looks a lot bigger and farther here. And she was right. It has that look, but a little bit of an optical illusion in that setting. Just 1 foot further. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball with Nigel Calderon, missing a bunt attempt. Calderon is asking, is it a called strike? Did I miss the attempt? It could be both. Whatever the case, the count is 1-2 to Nigel. With 2 outs, nobody on in the third. Siegel to the plate, and a breaking ball is poked foul towards the Omaha room standings. Calderon doing a nice job to get a little piece of it and stay alive. 1-2 the count. Caden Siegel trying to make it 9 in a row, set down after walking Calderon to open the game. Caden to the plate, a little tapper into right field, base hit. Sam Stem comes on, charging the ball. Nice piece of hitting by Calderon. He's just up there to protect after falling behind, and did so on a couple of different pitches. Reached out, flicked the wrist, and poked that into right. And he clearly served notice in the first inning that he is a danger on the base paths. He stole third. He had 16 bags during the regular season. Caden Siegel comes set. And the first pitch to the right-hand hitting Alejandro Garza, down and away, ball 1. Calderon representing the tying run at first base. Calderon getting his lead. Siegel throws over there on a hop, short hop by Ethan Hedges, but then Yukamoto didn't break to cover second, nor did Mason Lee. And Calderon is in with a gift stolen base after Siegel had picked off Calderon. A rare mental breakdown on the Knights' part. Yukamoto wasn't home at short, and he had a long run to make, but he still, as soon as he saw the throw go over to first, needed to rush over there and make himself available for the throw from Hedges. Ethan had no one home. Calderon, who appeared as though he had been picked off, now in scoring position with his second stolen base. Breaking ball in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1 to Garza. The Knights don't win 6 straight West Coast League championships without being good in all 3 phases of the game and paying great attention to detail. And in this case, a little breakdown there without anyone covering second, and it gives Portland, instead of the inning being over, a chance to get the game even with a 2-out hit. The 1-1 pitch to Garza, down and away, ball 2, 2-1. Alejandro Garza, right-hand hitter out of Cal Poly. Trying to take advantage of a bit of a gift. There goes the runner to third. The pitch is a strike. The throw to third is not in time. And Calderon has 3 stolen bases tonight. He is at third with 2 down. So all things considered, Siegel has a chance to get out of this. He made a good pickoff move and had Nigel Calderon dead to rights, it appeared, but Calderon ended up safe at second, steals third. Siegel ready, the 2-2 pitch, line down the right field line in the corner, foul off of the facade of Casey Corner. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alejandro Garza with a tie-in run 90 feet away. Caden again comes set. Garza trying to pick up Calderon. The pitch is high, ball 3. Neil Feist heads down towards the Corvallis Knights bullpen. He too is a guy looking for a bit of a kind of a redemptive tale in the postseason after struggling at Cowlitz last Tuesday in the control department. The 3-2 pitch is sprayed foul down the right field line by Garza to keep the at-bat alive. 3-2 the count. John Weiss certainly experienced that tale in a dramatic way here Thursday with a 1-2-3 ninth inning and the save in a 1-run victory. 3-2 breaking ball grounded into center field, base hit. Calderon comes in to score. The Pickles take advantage. Their fans, and there's quite a few of them, have made the trip down. Tremendous fan support for the Pickles. Are rejoicing, as well they should, in taking advantage of the gift. The Knights lost track of the base runner's disposition when he was picked off, and the inning should have been over. Garza, a 2-out RBI single to tie the game at 1. Dalton Mayshore, the batter. Dalton takes a fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Mayshore struck out in his first at-bat. Those are tough runs to see in that. If, as Pat Casey used to say, if you just play catch, you get through an inning. But sometimes even just the playing of a game of catch can be a challenge. A throw to first, and back to the bag goes Garza. I suppose you could ask Costner and the character that played his father. The game of catch can sometimes be difficult to accomplish, but glad that it was late from the cornfield. No balls and 1 strike. Out of the stretch works Siegel. Breaking ball in there. Strike 2 to Dalton. 0-2 the count. A 1-1 tie. Top of the 3rd inning. Alejandro Garza with a clutch bit of hitting to get the game even. 3 for 5 in stolen base attempts during the season. Draws a throw and gets back. No balls and 2 strikes to Dalton Mayshore. The right-hand hitter being played straight away in the hole at short. Second baseman Mason Lee much closer to the bag. The Knights pitch out. Howard throws to Mason Lee, and the ball goes into center field. 4 stolen bases for the Pickles. The Knights pitched out. They guessed right and just simply didn't execute. A good throw would have resulted in an out. So the Knights have 2 extra outs, in a sense, they've given to the Pickles here in the inning. And now a base hit gives Portland the lead. 1-2 to Dalton Mayshore. A 1-1 tie in the 3rd. Out of the stretch works Caden. Right-hander's been a victim of some tough luck in the inning. He misses with the fastball away. Ball 2, 2-2. Tough sun for left fielder Ethan Hott. Pitcher and batter engulfed in shadows here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. A 1-1 tie in the 3rd. Caden trying to keep it that way. Delivers 2-2 and does. Swung on and missed for strike 3 to retire the side. However, the Knights have a little bit of a failure to execute. Attention to detail they let slip a bit, and Portland, to its credit, a good club, takes advantage of it with the tying run on a hit. No errors, a man left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Pickles won and the Knights won on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the third, a 1-1 tie in the South Division title game. Mason Lee takes a strike from left-hander Brock Roundy. Brock back to the plate to Mason, chops one up along third, foul. 0-2 to Mason, who doubled down the left field line in the first and scored the first run of the ball game on an RBI single by Sam Stem. The Pickles have come back to pull even with a run in the top of the third inning. Mason Lee, Sam Stem, and Ethan Hedges against Roundy. Brock from the stretch delivers in the turf. Left fielder Nigel Calderon is certainly indicating by his posture out in straightaway left that sun is ablazing, and holding his glove up into the path of the sun as Roundy gets ready to come plateward for the 1-2 pitch. Brock delivers a line drive, base hit to right field. Mason Lee is 2 for 2. Andrew McKenna gets the ball back in to Josh Leichart. A leadoff single from Mason Lee, and Sam Stem, who drove in Mason with an RBI single in the first, comes to the plate. And again, a nice piece of hitting by Lee. Left-hander Brock Roundy out of Washington, Utah, and on his way to Grays Harbor College, comes to the plate to Sam. And the first pitch misses high and inside, ball one, 1-0. Head coach Brooke Knight going through the signs at third. Veteran coach Ed Nags keeping an eye on Mason Lee getting his lead from first base. 1-0 to Sam Stem in a 1-1 tie. Sam checks his swing and takes outside from Brock, ball two, 2-0. A left-on-left matchup here in the bottom of the third inning. Sam Stem has worked it his way, 2 balls and no strikes. Brock comes set and now tosses over to first. Mason Lee back to the bag. Mason stole 3 bases during the regular season, draws another throw and gets back. The Knights, during the regular season, stole 125 bases. Portland, a good number, but minuscule by comparison, had 80. The 2-0 pitch to Stem, chopped foul above the Pickles dugout on the first base side. The Gene Tanzelli dugout. Gene Tanzelli once coached at Clark College, where Pickles head coach Mark Magdaleno now is. The Knights in the Gary Baker dugout, the brother of Terry, the Heisman Trophy winner when the Beavers were an independent in '62. Another throw to first, and back to the bag steps Mason Lee. Times were a little different then. The Beavers went independent after being a charter member of the Pacific Coast Conference, independent from '59 through '63, rejoined the AAWU in '64, went to the Rose Bowl. Stem swings at an off-speed pitch, rolls it slowly foul. But there was not such great disparity with television money and all of those things that dictate terms these days in the college game, so that even though Oregon State College was loath to lose its conference affiliation and but were able to manage from '59 to '63, operating as an independent before rejoining what became the Pac-8. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sam Stem. Sam swings and hits a fly ball on the left side. Coming in is Calderon. Nigel is there to make the catch. 1 away, and Ethan Hedges will be the batter. Ethan, a line drive to shortstop Alejandro Garza in the first inning. All of that to say, none of us, of course, have any idea just how things are going to unfold. But thinking of Gary Baker and Terry Baker, the Knights did survive an independent status for a few years way back, late 50s, early 60s. There goes Mason Lee. The pitch is in the turf, and the throwdown is not in time. Mason Lee picks up just his 4th stolen base of the summer. And out to the mound goes Luke Bard for a conversation with Brock Roundy. It was fun last night, even when Adley Rutschman did not have a great night to watch. Adley's methods always on display. Adley, the former Corvallis Knight. He began his collegiate baseball experience as a member of the Corvallis Knights in the summer of 2016. Went on to play for the Beavers 17, 18, and 19, and you may recall play at a fairly high level. And one of his patterns was at the end of every half inning to greet every Beaver pitcher coming off the diamond halfway up the third base line. Coming off of the field, he would greet his battery mate and just have a brief conversation, pat on the back. Last night, the starting pitcher for the Orioles got knocked around, and those meetings were very quick. Just, hey, okay, pat on the back, but he never failed to meet his battery mate halfway up the line. Ethan Hedges takes high, ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way, in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Ethan. In this 1-1 tie in the bottom of the third inning. Mason Lee at second base with one out. Brock Roundy working the third base side of the rubber, comes set and now looks Mason Lee back at the bag. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ethan. Young man who will be heading back to USC. Been a real pleasure to watch him play ball this summer. The 1-2 pitch coming from Brock Roundy to Ethan. A ground ball slowly to short, charged by Garza. Alejandro's throw to first is in time. On the play, Mason Lee advances to third and brings Ethan Hott, who will be heading off to Stanford, coming to the plate. Connor Letourneau of the San Francisco Chronicle wrote an excellent piece you can search out and find, I think, at msnbc.com. I think it's available there. Connor wrote a story about Cal and Stanford trying to hold things together with Oregon State and Washington State as a Pac-4, just trying to kind of hang on and survive and then rebuild the conference. Those 4 adding others. I have no idea. I'm just saying that was Letourneau expressing what he had heard from his Bay Area contacts. Ethan Hott takes a strike in the count 0-1. The strike 1 pitch from Roundy down and in, 1-1 the count. And for so many reasons, I'm hoping there's some truth in that idea. Part of which to get to see this young man play in the future, Ethan Hott. Good ball player out of Stanford, and hope that we're not just going to get to see him one more time. He takes in the turf, ball 2, 2-1. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the third. Mason Lee at third base with 2 down. Roundy working out of the stretch with the runner at third. The Knights trying to regain the lead. The pitch is a strike to Ethan Hott, and that evens the count at 2-2. Goodly number of Pickles fans, as I mentioned, here at the ballpark tonight. Great to have them with us. They're hoping to cheer Roundy loudly here in a moment. Here's a tapper up along third. A tough play for Briseño. The off-balance throw is not in time. Ethan Hott beats it out. Mason Lee scores, and the Knights lead it 2-1. Mark Magdaleno will come out to argue. I'm not sure that I blame Coach Magdaleno. I thought that Ethan Hott was going to be called out. Now, whether Brett Taylor over here to my right has a replay on it or not, here with KEZI, and he has watched it again, and it's our own version here of instant replay adjacent to the McGrath family press box, and I'm going to trust Brett's vision because he's viewed it again through the viewfinder and says safe. So, good call. An RBI infield single for Ethan Hott. 2-1 Knights in the third. Tate Shamau rolls one slowly foul up along third, and the count 0-1. Brett, by the way, reports that he, who had the advantage of me at the Oregon State football scrimmage today, said DJ Uiagalelei was excellent in leading the Beavers offense. That Damian Martinez also had a big day over at the scrimmage. And by the way, Brett, since I was making my way back from Seattle, was it within Reeser? Yes, it was within Reser Stadium. Thank you. So I'm glad to hear good reports from Brett Taylor, KZI, covering this ball game tonight. 2-1 Knights. The pitch on the way on the outside corner, strike 2 to Tate Shamau. Tate struck out in his first at-bat. Two runs, 5 hits for the Knights, a run, 2 hits for Portland in this single game affair to decide the South Division Championship. The new playoff format, a throw to first and back to the bag steps Ethan Hott. Ethan, the infield leg single, his wheels got him the run batted in. Gets his lead again. The pitch to Shamau, pulled foul past Brook Knight and down the line at third. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. The Knights regaining the lead in their second playoff series against the Portland Pickles. And they've not lost to Portland this year. There goes the runner. The throw to Evan Cloyd is on target. The throw to second is in time to the shortstop. Garza covering for the out. The new playoff format I was mentioning has enabled 8 teams to have home playoff games. I like it. I like the format a lot. But the 3-game series and the need to kind of bring the season to a conclusion leads to these 1-game scenarios for the divisional championships in the North and South, and 1 game to decide the title coming up on Monday. The Knights do regain the lead. Ethan Hott is picked off, 1-3-6, caught stealing to end the third. We'll have a new pitcher coming in for the Corvallis Knights. Caden Siegel does an excellent job. And now right-hander Neil Feist, who's looking to bounce back after an outing in Longview wherein his control betrayed him. We'll see how he fares with the lead back. A 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights regain the lead, 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Portland 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Right-hander Neil Feist in, works Evan Cloyd for the Pickles, high and inside. The 1-0 pitch is high and outside. Ball 2, 2-0. And when I talk about Neil champing at the bit to have an opportunity to come back, an inning and 2/3 at Longview, a hit, 4 runs, 3 walks, all runs earned. Delivers, swung on and missed, and the count 2-1. had a 4-0 lead, and his control betrayed him, and that opened the door. Walked 3, all 3 scored. A 4th walk also scored, and then Cowlitz ended up pulling out game 1. Neal's 2-1 pitch is stroked into left center field for a base hit. Phoenix Cole will play it on a hop. And so the Pickles, coming off the sweep of Ridgefield while it was taking the Knights all 3 games to defeat the Cowlitz Black Bears, after falling behind 2-1, promptly come back at their leadoff man aboard in the person of Evan Cloyd. Josh Schleichart, the batter. Jordan Barkus coaching at third, Griffin Williams at first. A bunt in the air, a diving catch made by Tyler Howard in foul territory. A brilliant job by Howard. A la Adley Rutschman, popping up out of the catcher's crouch, diving to his left on the bunt attempt. Nearly juggled the ball. In fact, it may have been a little bit loose, but he squeezes it. A tremendous catch on Tyler Howard's part. Nice job. So Schleichart trying to sacrifice Evan Cloyd over. Fouls out on the bunt attempt. 1 gone, Armando Briseño, the batter. Feist to the plate, breaking ball away, ball 1, 1-0. 2-1 Knights in the 4th. Feist during the regular season appeared in 18 games, 41 2/3, 40 hits, 21 walks, 26 strikeouts, a record of 4-1, and an earned run average of 3.02. His 1-0 pitch to Briseño misses down and away, ball 2, 2-0. Andrew McKenna on deck. Feist on this clear, pleasant Saturday night. Comes back with a 2-0 pitch. That's hit foul off to the right and carrying well out of play beyond Casey corner. The count goes to 2-1. Knights baseball presented by our friends at First Alternative Co-op. They've been making it easy for you and your family to buy local and eat healthy since 1970. Fastball in there from Neal for a strike to even the count to Briseño at 2-2. Be sure to stop by either Co-op location in Corvallis. Enjoy their fresh brewed coffees, house-made pastries, their delicious salad bar, and much more. Everyone is welcome at the First Alternative Co-op. 2-1 Knights, the 2-2 pitch in the turf. And the count goes full to Briseño, 3-2. Andrew McKenna on deck. Evan Cloyd held on by Ethan Hedges. Barkus goes through the signs. Cloyd goes. The 3-2 pitch, a fly ball to right center field. Phoenix Call lines it up to make the catch. Cloyd turns and heads back to first. 2 away in the 4th. And Andrew McKenna will come to the plate. McKenna began his collegiate career at Holy Cross in 2020. Has been competing at Santa Barbara Community College the past 2 springs in 21 and 22. Then in this past year, I should say, 2023, 3 games for Washington State. The pitch on the way, just inside, ball 1 to McKenna. 1-0 the count. As I was having my photograph taken at the great statue of the Hall of Famer Dave Niehaus last night out in left center field, my daughter taking a photo as I sat next to my oh my himself in the statue form at T-Mobile. The woman who was sort of standing guard over the Niehaus statue, the pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. Rolled up her pant leg and said, "Look at my socks." And there was a Washington State Cougar logo, and we kind of bumped fists, shook hands, and said, "We're all in this together." McKenna, a Coug, takes away ball 2, 2-1. We always sort of have been, right? But it feels like now more than ever, the solidarity with our brothers and sisters on the Palouse at Washington State, and that includes this young man right here. The 2-1 pitch to McKenna rolled slowly foul in front of his own dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Andrew. 2-1 Knights in the top of the 4th. Neal Feist picking up for Caden Siegel, working with Tyler Howard. Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third. The 2-2 pitch just off the plate. Ball 3, 3-2. In the outfield, Ethan Hott in left, Phoenix Call in center, Sam Stem in right. First baseman Ethan Hedges will play behind the runner Cloyd, who goes. The 3-2 pitch is foul back. Neil Feist not wanting to give in, particularly coming off the distasteful experience in his last outing last Tuesday in Longview. Wanting to keep pounding the zone. He'll try it again, 3-2. There goes Cloyd. The 3-2 pitch, a ground ball toward second baseman Mason Lee. Picks it up and throws to first to retire the side. Good work for Neil. No runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of 3.5 in this one-game winner-take-all South Division Championship affair, it's the Knights 2 and the Portland Pickles 1. With a new pitcher coming in out of the bullpen for Portland, we will take a 2-minute in-game pitching change break and find out who we've got coming in from through the gate out and left. Back in 2-1 Knights on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. If your home, office, or investment property needs some work, if it's dingy, dirty, or worn, we have an answer for you, solution. It's All Pro Property Services. All Pro Property Services, well, they've helped thousands of companies, investors, and a lot of different souls get the best out of their properties. From investment renovations, facility services, housekeeping, and move-out cleans, All Pro Property Services has the bases covered. 2-1 Knights to the bottom of the fourth. Right-hander Caden Riccamini throws a curveball for a strike to Tate Shamau, leading things off for the Knights in the bottom of the fourth. A good outing for Brock Roundy. Now, Riccamini, 6'2", 200-pounder from UC Davis, Mount Shasta, California, comes back with a strike one pitch, ties up Shamau, tried to check his swing but went around. 0-2 the count. Riccamini making his first appearance in the postseason after the Pickles took care of Ridgefield in 2. The strike two pitch on the way, down and away from the right-hander Riccamini. 1-2 the count, 2-1 Knights. During the regular season, Caden appeared in 14 games, 15 innings, 15 hits, 15 walks, 25 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.60. The 1-2 breaking ball waved at and missed, strike three. Tate Shamau strikes out for the second time. One away, and Tyler Howard, who singled to right field in the second, will make his way to the plate. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Knights. Rickamini went to Mount Shasta High School. A beautiful part of the world, to be sure. We were listening on the way back down the hill to the haunting tune way back down I-5, Merle Haggard's haunting tune about Kern River. The pitch to Howard, a strike, and the count 0-1. After the disaster on the Kern, he moved north to Mount Shasta, he says, and sings of it beautifully. The strike one pitch down and away, the count 1-1. Always a beautiful part of the world to cross on the trips we would make from Southern California to Oregon back in the late 60s and early 70s. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, a two-hopper back of third. Armando Briseño backs up, fields cleanly, and throws across to get Howard. 2 down in the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Knights, nobody on, and Phoenix call to the plate. And Rickamini essentially staying in the same part of the world, going to UC Davis collegiately out of the beautiful Mount Shasta. The pitch to Phoenix, big breaking ball. It's a good-looking pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the fourth. Rickamini and Luke Bard, the battery for the Pickles. Evan Cloyd at first, Josh Schleichhardt at second, Alejandro Garza at short, Armando Briseño at third. The strike one fastball a little bit high and away to Phoenix. 1-1 the count. In the outfield for the Pickles, Nigel Calderon in left, Kyler Stancato in center, Andrew McKenna in right. Rickamini in his first inning of work looking to set the side down in order, and he will. A fly ball to center. Kyler Stancato is right there, and a nice job by Rickamini. Stancato puts it away. Caden retires the Knights in order. It's the first time that's happened tonight, and we are through 4. It's the Knights 2 and the Pickles 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 5th inning, 2-1 Knights. Kyler Stancato takes a strike, leading things off with the Pickles in the 5th. Kyler will be followed by Luke Bard, then back to the top of the order, and Nigel Calderon. Neal strike one pitch, fouled at the plate by Kyler. 0-2 the count. Stancato flied to center field in his first at-bat, hit the ball well. The outfield fanned out straight away, and no more sun issues for anyone on the field. The 0-2 pitch, a line drive, caught by Knight shortstop Tai Yukamoto. One away. Luke Bard will come to the plate. If you live or work in one of 24 Western or Central Oregon counties, you're entitled to the membership privileges and the full financial services at Oregon State Credit Union. You can join online at OregonStateCU.com or at one of their 15 branches. Oregon State Credit Union, investing in all of our communities and dedicated to creating financial solutions toward making local lives better. First pitch is high and inside to Luke, who flied to right field in his first at-bat. 2-1 Knights in the fifth. Feist back to the plate. A one-hopper backing up to catch it is Yukamoto on a hop. And from the rim at short, throws across to first for out number 2. Nicely done by Tai Yukamoto. Good read on both of the plays that have come his way. The line drive that he caught moving to his left. And here, understanding the situation, didn't hurry, backing up to play the ball he knew he had a chance to get. The right-hand hitting catcher Bard by getting on top of the throw. So good work by Ty. 2 down, nobody on. Nigel Calderon, the batter. Feist delivers off the mitt of his battery mate Tyler Howard to the backstop, ball 1. Calderon has walked and had a base hit and a nice opposite field single. He scored the Pickles run. He shows bunt, takes high and inside, ball 2, 2-0. Neal has retired 5 in a row since giving up a base hit to Evan Cloyd in the 4th. We're in the 5th. 2-1 Knights on a warm, beautiful Saturday in the Mid-Valley. Ground ball to short. Yukamoto between hops, makes the play and throws to first to retire the side. Nice exhibition of defensive baseball at short in a variety of plays on Yukamoto's part. 3 different challenges, and he's up to the task. And Neil Feist retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Knights 2 and the Pickles 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Tai Yukamoto, Tyler Quinn, and Mason Lee for the Knights in the bottom of the 5th. Yukamoto, a strong display of defense in the top of the inning, now trying to lead the way with the bat in his hand from the bottom of the order. Tai takes high, ball 1. Yukamoto struck out looking in his first at-bat. 2-1 Knights, bottom of the 5th. Riccomini's 1-0 breaking ball in there. Boy, he's got a good one in the count, 1-1. Yukamoto, Tyler Quinn, and Mason Lee. The Knights a run in the first, a run in the third. The Pickles tally coming in the 3rd inning. Riccomini's 1-1 pitch gets inside Yukamoto, who pops one foul off of third. Nice jam job, and Yukamoto fouls out to third baseman Armando Briseño. 1 away in the bottom of the 5th, and Tyler Quinn, the hitter. Tyler has grounded to short and flied to center. Our congratulations to Dave and Tracy Boker, who are here tonight. They are Knights fans extraordinaire. Today is their 14th wedding anniversary. They're here at the ballpark. They are hosts to Tyler Quinn, Tai Yukamoto, and Zach Johnson. Tyler Quinn fouls one straight back, 0-1 the count. Dave and Tracy Boker, who also hosted Chase Gomez from the Oregon State women's golf team. She has lived in their home as well. Tremendous people, Dave and Tracy. And it is their 14th anniversary tonight. They had a celebration last night, and they're in the ballpark where they belong here tonight. The pitch is high in the count, 1-1 to Tyler Quinn. 2-1 Knights in the fifth. Breaking ball just misses from the right-hander Rick Amini. And the count goes to 2-1. Rick Amini works out of the stretch with nobody on. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Sprayed foul to the right towards Dixon Reck. And that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Quinn, such an all-around versatile player and a clutch player, a leader on this club, a returner from last year's championship team. Swings at the 2-2 pitch and hits it foul again in a similar spot to the right and out of play. 2-2, one of his future coaches at Utah is here tonight. Mike Brown, an assistant to our good friend Gary Henderson. Mike Brown was kind enough to come up and say hello here tonight. The 2-2 pitch, a check swing, a little high and inside. Swing! Swing! With almost a last-second obligatory appeal, like, oh, yeah, I guess we'll check on that, and Brooke Knight is stupefied. Swing on the check, 2 down, and Mason Lee will be the hitter. It was almost an afterthought, it seemed, for Luke Bard to ask for help. So there was a sense of astonishment on the part of Brooke Knight, Tyler Quinn, Ed Naggs, and others. Now a bunt by Mason Lee up along third. He'll get himself a base hit on a beautifully laid down bunt single with 2 down here in the fifth, and Mason is 3 for 3. Both times previously, Mason has gotten hits and he scored. Now in this case, a 2-out bunt single, but it gives Sam Stem a chance to hit against the right-hander Caden Riccamini. Mason stole second in the third inning. 2-1 Knights in the fifth. Sam awaits, and the pitch on the way to the Knights' leading RBI man in there for a strike. Sam with an RBI single in the first to score Lee. Fly to left in the third. No balls and 1 strike on a t-shirt, shirt sleeve, shorts, warm summer night as it was in Seattle last night. I've never experienced the like in that ballpark. The strike 1 fastball high, ball 1. We had the extra layers and never needed them. It stayed 79, 80 degrees throughout the game. One of the best nights I've ever experienced in the great city of Seattle. Watching Mariner baseball, the Mariners playing so well here of late. It's good to see. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Stem is ripped into right field. It'll drop for a base hit on a hop in front of Andrew McKenna. Andrew throws the ball back into Garza, stopping at second, Mason Lee. And so the Knights, with 2 outs, have an opportunity to add to their advantage. A bunt single dropped down by Mason Lee up along third. Ethan Hedges will be the hitter after Sam Stem walloped a base hit to right. So 2 on, 2 out in the fifth. Pitching coach Brian Grant on his way out for a conversation with Caden Riccamini. Hedges is lined to short and grounded to short, trying to add to the Knights' lead in the bottom of the fifth. The Knights, if they win, will host Monday against either Victoria or Bellingham. It's expected, at least there's been some talk of 105 degrees or thereabouts come Monday. And I've even heard some talk. We're way ahead of ourselves, believe me. But keep an eye out on the Corvallis Knights website, corvallisknights.com, the GT, etc. If it's expected to be that hot that day come Monday and the Knights are playing here, there could be a little wiggle room with the start of the game, maybe pushing it back an hour and a half or so. But we'll see. The Knights have to get there first, and they're dealing with a very good Pickles team in a tight ball game. The first pitch to Ethan Hedges, a strike, 0-1 the count. Mason Lee at second, Sam Stem at first, 2 down, 2-1 Knights in the fifth. The strike 1 pitch just outside to Ethan. That evens the count at 1-1. Slight breeze rippling the American flag beyond the left center field fence. Perfect conditions for the summer game. The 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2 from Riccomini. 1-2 to Ethan Hedges. With 2 outs, a bunt single for Mason Lee. Sam Stem a single to right. Now 1-2 to the right-hand hitting Ethan Hedges. Caden Riccomini comes set. And heading to third base on the 1-2 pitch, Mason Lee. The pitch to Hedges hit foul into Urchin Alley to the right. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden Riccomini picking up for Brock Roundy. It's been a well-pitched game by both sides. 2-1 Knights in the 5th. In the one-game winner-take-all South Division Championship affair here in Corvallis. Another 1-2 pitch coming to Ethan Hedges. A throw to second base, and back to the bag gets Mason Lee. Caden Riccomini throwing to Josh Schleichart, the second baseman, darting in. 1-2 the count to Ethan Hedges. One of the biggest hits of the season delivered by Ethan on Thursday night to pull the Knights from down 2-0 into a 2-2 tie. Tried to check his swing on a breaking ball on appeal. No swing. Yeah. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, he rung up Tyler Quinn earlier on a very questionable call. On the other side, this one a little questionable. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 Knights. 2-2 to Ethan Hedges. Riccomini out of the stretch, glances back at Mason Lee, does so again. Now works 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3 to Hedges. And the Knights continue to leave men in scoring position. And we are through 5. Another tough one shaping up. They've been very competitive, exciting, nail-biting, compelling games, have they not, here down the stretch? We've got another one. As we go to the 6th, it remains the Knights 2 and Portland 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. '85 beautiful degrees as we move to the 6th inning. 2-1 Knights. The Pickles shortstop Alejandro Garza takes the first pitch for a strike from Neil Feist here in the 6th. Swings at the 0-1 pitch and sprays it foul down the right field side, well out of the reach of Sam Stem down the line. 0-2 to Garza, who has sacrificed and had the clutch 2-out run scoring single in the 3rd to get the Pickles even at the time. A comebacker fielded cleanly by Neil Feist. Trots a bit towards first and shovels to Ethan Hedges. One away. Dalton Mayshore, who has been up twice and struck out twice, the batter. Both of the strikeouts against Knight starter Caden Siegel, who worked the first 3 innings. And we're now in the 6th, 2-1 Knights with Neil Feist on for his 3rd inning of work. delivers down and away, ball one, 1-0 to Dalton. Feist reading Tyler Howard. The right-hander set and comes back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. Neal 6'3", 215 from Torrance in the Southland. Competes at Cal State Northridge. And was on the bump when the Knights clinched their 6th championship last summer. A one-hopper into left field past the outstretched glove of Tai Yukamoto. Tai moving to his left. Left fielder Ethan Hott gets the ball back in. A one-out single from Mayshore. He is the tying run at first base. And coming to the plate will be Evan Cloyd. Cloyd has a look at Jordan Barkus going through the signs at third. Mayshore, the one-out single, and he's a threat to run, 12 for 15 in steals. He's held on by Ethan Hedges. He draws a throw and gets back. The Knights, had they executed a bit better defensively, would have a 2-run lead at the moment. They gave up a run in the third after Caden Siegel had apparently picked off Nigel Calderon, but then nobody covered second. Calderon broke and got in safely and then scored on the ensuing hit by Garza. Ground ball towards third, fielded by Quinn. He goes to Lee for one, on to first. Double play to retire the side. Around the horn, 5-4-3, and that's that for the Pickles in the 6th. No runs, a hit, nobody left at the end of 5.5. The Knights 2 and Portland 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1 Knights. Ethan Hott, Tate Shamau, and Tyler Howard. Hott's leg single in the third broke a 1-1 tie, scoring Mason Lee from third base. And now Caden Riccomini goes to work on Ethan down and away, ball one. The Cricket Country 99.9 KRKT, bottom of the 6th inning song, none other than Glenn Campbell's Southern Knights. That's reaching back, going way back for that one. Good song from Glenn. The 1-0 pitch on the way, fastball belt high for a strike to Hott. The count 1-1, 2-1 Knights in the bottom of the 6th, but Casey Lavin astutely pointed out that it kind of feels like a Southern night here tonight. A little on the sultry side. Believe me, it's not quite like that kind of Southern night, but for our standards, a little bit on the muggy side. Beautiful, warm evening. The night was sultry. I think the line Billy Crystal was the word that he was searching for in Throw Mama from the Train. The Knights will get some activity going in their bullpen. Ethan Collins, Jonathan Stone heading down. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled by Ethan at the plate. The count remains 1-2. Paul Blackburn with his radio on in front of me tells me, meanwhile in Seattle, a 0-0 game at T-Mobile Park. I'm not sure who's pitching for the Orioles, but George Kirby has retired 14 Orioles in a row, so a good ball game going on up north and a very good one here. 2-1 Knights, bottom of the sixth. Ethan Hott leading things off. Caden Riccomini to the plate. A slow roller up along third. Charged by Briseño. Bare hands, fires. Not in time. Ethan Hott, another infield single. Well, that is just such a beautiful thing to have in your back pocket, so to speak. The ability to get leg hits. There was an article today somewhere on one of the online sites about Mickey Mantle, and Mickey, with the injuries that he endured, he had the greatest speed perhaps from first to home that the game has ever known, but the ravages of time on those legs of his cost him many leg hits late. What a great ball player he was. Ted Williams had a chance to hit 400 late, hit 388 after his 406. Ted needed 4 or 5 leg hits and didn't get him, or he would have hit 400 as a 38-year-old. The first pitch to Tate Shamau, showing bunt, is high, ball 1, 1-0. 2-1 Knights, bottom of the sixth inning. A leadoff leg single for Ethan Hott, who's 2 for 2. He's held on by Evan Cloyd. 1-0 to Shamau. Tate is bunting, pulls the bat back and takes a strike. The count 1-1. Caden Riccomini has pitched very well, as did his predecessor, Brock Roundy. The score indicates that everyone that has been on the bump has done well. They have. It's 2-1 in the sixth. The 1-1 is instead a throw over to first base, and back to the bag steps Ethan Hott. When you visit Corvallis to catch Knights baseball, be sure to stay at your locally owned Best Western Corvallis, close to Goss, with the largest hotel rooms in the city and an outdoor heated pool. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. Shamau bunts in the air up along first. The only play is to first, made by Riccomini. He fields and gets the ball to Evan Cloyd for the putout on Shamau, but the sacrifice works. 1-3. One away, Ethan Hott into second, and Tyler Howard the batter. Tyler, a base hit to right in the second, grounded to third in the fourth. Two to one Knights, bottom of the sixth, looking for a precious bit of insurance, represented by Ethan Hott out at second. Breaking ball strike. It's a really good looking pitch from Caden Riccomini. He commands it. No balls and a strike to Tyler Howard. Ethan Hott with those good wheels, getting his lead from second. Tyler trying to pick him up. Riccomini comes set. Caden delivers, fastball, fouled straight back. And Tyler down in the count, 0-2, with Phoenix Call on deck. 109 degrees predicted for Monday in Corvallis. The Knights hope they have the chance to play a ball game. The strike two pitch taken down and away, 1-2 the count. Portland, if it wins, would get to, I would think, a more temperate climb, either Bellingham or Victoria, for the West Coast League Championship. They're trying to earn their way into that opportunity. 1-2 to Tyler Howard, and it's a taut affair here at Goss. 2-1 Knights, bottom of the sixth. Ethan Hott getting his lead from second. The 1-2 pitch to Tyler Howard, a line drive, base hit into left center field. Ethan Hott rounding third on his way to the plate. He will score. Tyler Howard, an RBI single. The Knights lead it 3-1. Tyler Howard with his second hit of the night, and he has hit the ball hard twice. The first time to the opposite field, that time pull side to left center, and Ethan Hott able to score on a pretty long single into left center field. No play at the plate. Phoenix Call steps in. And the pitch to Phoenix, fastball a little bit high, ball one, 1-0. 3-1 Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. Phoenix has hit back to the box and flied to center. Tyler Howard, one of the few Knights not necessarily a threat to run, but he's got a few bags here and there. Calls, swings, and sprays one foul down towards Casey corner. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyler has managed to swipe 4 bags in 4 attempts during the summer. He's held on by Evan Cloyd. 1-1 to Phoenix call. Riccomini from the stretch, turns and throws over to first. Back to the bag steps Tyler. The Knights a run in the first, a run in the third. They picked up 1 here in the 6th. Portland's lone tally in the 3rd. From the stretch, Caden Riccomini ready to go. The 1-1 pitch to Phoenix. Fastball, a strike. The home plate umpire, I think, thought it was strike 3 and was starting to go into a Emmett Ashford, Ron Luciano type Dutch runner, ring him up, and then slowed his tempo down and just called it a strike. 1-2 to call. Tai Yukamoto on deck. The 1-2 pitch hit slowly off the end of the bat, wide of first, fielded by Schleichart. The throw to first is in time, just in time. Schleichart getting the ball to Evan Cloyd, who was kind of caught between and just did get back to receive the throw from Schleichart on a close play at first. 2 down. On the play, Tyler Howard into second. We've got a visit to the mound now by Mark Magdaleno. Mags out to visit with Riccomini, trying to see if he's summoned anybody yet, and he has. He wants to match up with a left-hander coming out of the pen. Nice work by Caden Riccomini. He leaves with the Knights leading 3-1 in the 6th. Portland turns to a southpaw coming out of the bullpen, trying to get a read on the number as the young man jogs in from through the gate out in left center field. And there we go. It appears as though he's wearing 29, and that would make him Max Frazier, a Coug. We take a 2-minute pitching change break in the 6th. The Knights 3, the Pickles 1, back in 2 on 1240. Joe Radio and the Knights live stream. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the 6th. The left-hander Max Frazier's first pitch, a breaking ball in the turf. Good block by Luke Bard, and a little bit of particles pop up from the turf under the mask and into the eyes of Luke Bard. Not quite as poetic as the eyes of Laura Mars. A film I never saw, but you see that when you're kind of the eyes of Laura Mars. I don't know what the movie's about, but the title's always been intriguing. The eyes of Luke Bard appear to be fine. He settles back into the crouch. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the 6th. The left-hander Frazier's 1-0 pitch to Tai Yukamoto is a strike. The count 1-1. Max Frazier picking up for Caden Riccamini. Frazier 6'1", 185 from Camas, and plays at Washington State. Delivers just inside to Tai Yukamoto. Ball 2, 2-1. Frazier making his Portland Pickles playoff debut. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the 6th inning. During the summer, Max appeared in 8 games, 18 in the 3rd innings. He comes back and misses again. Ball 3, 3-1 to Yukamoto. Right hand hitting Tyler Quinn on deck, and Coach Magdaleno and Brian Grant have a right-hander throwing back of the lefty Frazier. This could be just a one-batter scenario for Frazier with Quinn next. The 3-1 pitch on the way, and Frazier does his job. Yukamoto, a fly ball to Kyler Stancato, who makes the catch to retire the side. Good work by Frazier, summoned to face the lefty, and he gets him. The Knights do pick up a run on 2 hits. Tyler Howard, a clutch piece of hitting to add to the Knights' lead. We are through 6 in this South Division title game. The Knights 3 and Portland 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Through 6 innings in the West Coast League South Division Championship game, the Knights 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. The Pickles 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. Right-hander Neil Feist goes to work on Josh Schleichart, and his fastball to Josh misses a little low, ball 1. Schleichart, the right-hand hitting second baseman, 0 for 2, is struck out and bunted out on a good catch by Tyler Howard. He takes the 1-0 pitch up and in, ball 2, 2-0. Feist has been very good since picking up for Caden Siegel. 3 scoreless, faced the minimum last inning. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Schleichart, high, ball 3, 3-0. The Knights do have some other arms beginning to throw back of Neal. Neal has managed to stay away from ball 4, but he's 3-0 now to Schleichart, delivers a strike. Josh taking all the way in the count, 3-1. Josh Schleichart, Armando Briseño, and Andrew McKenna for the Portland Pickles in the 7th. The 3-1 pitch, a ground ball wide of third. To his left is Tyler Quinn. Up with it, throws high, but Ethan Hedges maintains contact with the bag, 1 away. Good job by Ethan. 1 gone. and Armando Briseño, who's flied to right and flied to center, coming to the plate. 3-1 Knights in the 7th. Neil Feist on this warm twilight affair here comes to the plate, swung on and fouled at the plate. The count 0-1. Paul Blackburn receiving a message from Brooks Hatch, who I don't blame him, taking a little break outside the McGrath family press box on this beautiful warm summer night and sitting down with Bree, who has made the trip over from Central Oregon, our general manager. The strike one pitcher, former GM. The late Jen Beaumont was in our general manager seat. Bree still continuing to be involved, but less so now. But over here tonight to help with the Knights' playoff push, visiting with Brooks Hatch down to our right. The strike one pitch rolled foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Armando Briseño. Neal back to the plate and misses just outside. 3-1 Knights in the bottom of the 7th. Feist and Tyler Howard the battery. Ethan Hedges at first, Mason Lee at second, Ty Yukamoto at short, Tyler Quinn at third. The 1-2 pitch, fastball grounder to the left of second baseman Mason Lee. He fields and throws to Ethan Hedges. 2 down. Andrew McKenna, who has struck out and grounded to second, will be the batter. In the outfield for the Knights, Ethan Hott in left, Phoenix Call in center, Sam Stem in right. Brooks bringing me what our former Knights and Beavers have been doing in Major League Baseball this evening. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed by McKenna. 0-1 the count. Michael Conforto went 2 for 2, hit his 14th homer today, but the Giants are trailing Texas 6-2. Adley 0 for 2 thus far in a good ball game up at T-Mobile. 0 for 5 in the series. A strike one pitch, a fly ball to left. Ethan Hott will defer to Phoenix Call, coming over into left center field to make the catch, and Feist retires the Pickles in order in the 7th. Nick Madrigal didn't play in a Cubs victory. Stephen Kwan 2 for 5 in a Guardians loss to Tampa Bay, and former Knight Matt Duffy went 2 for 4 with a double in a St. Louis 5-4 win over Kansas City. Good inning for Neil Feist. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time on this warm, gorgeous evening in the Mid-Valley. After 6.5 and a new pitcher coming in for the Pickles, we'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. It's Portland and the Knights settling the South Division Championship this evening in Corvallis. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Knights 3 and the Pickles 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Murphy Ginger, 6'4", 225, out of northern Colorado from Castle Rock, Colorado, delivers to Tyler Quinn. A ground ball to the left of third baseman Armando Briseño. Nice play by Armando ranging to his left. He throws out Tyler on the first pitch of the bottom of the seventh inning. The Knights leading the Pickles 3-1. Mason Lee, who was 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored, come into the plate. Lee a double and scored in the first, a base hit to right and scored in the third, a bunt single in the fifth, left stranded at second base. Breaking ball from Ginger just misses ball one. 1-0. Ginger went 3 innings in his only outing against Ridgefield. A hit, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. The right-hander wearing number 77 on his Pickles jersey delivers a strike. The count 1-1. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the seventh. Ginger back to the plate, misses away, ball 2. 2-1. The big righty works out of the stretch, drops down a bit by way of third, and fires a strike to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the seventh. The Knights leading 3-1. During the regular season, Murphy appeared in 13 games, started 3. He misses high. Pretty good workload, 41 2/3, only 35 hits, 14 walks, 40 strikeouts, a record of 3-1, an ERA of 4.32. Delivers a breaking ball, hit foul off first. Evan Cloyd comes over as far as he can. This one lands about 4 rows deep in the lower grandstand on the first base side. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Lee looking for a 4-hit night. 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 Knights in the seventh. Lee swings and hits one foul back of the plate. It will carry well out of play. Sam Stem, the on-deck hitter. If the Knights win, they host here Monday night against either Victoria or Bellingham. 6 outs away from giving themselves that opportunity, but looking for more insurance. Over the top, and the 3-2 pitch is high and inside, ball 4. Ginger changes his release point from time to time. He drops often, and mainly it seems 3/4, but in this case came over the top and missed up and in to walk Lee and bring Sam Stem to the plate. Sam's had a good ball game. His season, in a very real sense, in microcosm, 2 hits, a run batted in. He stands in now against Murphy Ginger, with the Knights looking to add to their 3-1 lead. He swings and pulls one foul down the right field line. No balls and a strike. Pape Material Handling keeps you moving again this year. All season, Pape Material Handling has teamed up with the Knights in support of the local nonprofit that helps people get on their feet and lead healthy and productive lives. Community Outreach, Inc. To learn more about Community Outreach, Inc. and the One Step Closer to Home initiative supported by Pape Material Handling, visit corvallisnights.com/COI. A throw over to first base, Mason Lee back. Mason, a stolen base in the third. 3-1 Knights in the bottom of the seventh, 0-1 to Sam Stem. Ginger to the plate. Fastball just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 3 runs and 9 hits for the Knights. A run, 4 hits for the Pickles. But still very much a nip and tuck affair, with the Knights seeking to separate a bit more now here in the seventh. The pitch to Stem, ripped into right field for a base hit. Mason Lee will race to third. McKenna gets the ball back to Schleichart, who drops the ball out in shallow right. Not enough to give Lee a thought about going any further, but he does pull into third without a play. Sam Stem's third hit. Runners at the corners and 1 out for Ethan Hedges, with the Knights leading 3-1 and a decision for Mark Magdaleno. He has another right-hander throwing in the bullpen. He sends pitching coach Brian Grant out to the mound, but the decision for Coach Magdaleno, and I assume it'll be, to play his infield at double play depth. Ethan Hedges, will be the batter. Ethan is 0 for 3, is lined to short, grounded to short, and struck out. Runners at first and third and 2 down, and good runners on the corners. But the cleanup hitter, Ethan Hedges, on. Deeper down in the order, Brooke Knight would be perhaps of a mind to put on a double steal, a delayed steal, try to make Portland make a decision with respect to the runner breaking from first to second. But in the fact that they have their cleanup hitter, Ethan Hedges, at the plate, may just trust Ethan to get the run home with a fly ball. First and third, 1 out. 3-1 Knights in the bottom of the 7th. A very important run represented by Mason Lee at third. The Pickles will play their infield at double play depth, and the middle infielders bunched up the middle. The 6-hole and 4-hole wide open to Hedges. First and third, 1 out. Ginger delivers very high, ball 1, 1-0. Brooke Knight going through the signs at third. 1 ball and no strikes to Ethan Hedges. 3-1 Knights, bottom of the 7th. Ginger comes back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch is outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Ethan Hott on deck, a right-hander throwing in the bullpen for the Pickles. I believe it's Carter Delaney getting ready back of Ginger. 2 balls and no strikes to Hedges. The 2-0 pitch misses down and in. Ball 3, 3-0. 3-1 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mason Lee hit by a pitch, went to third on the base hit by Sam Stem. 1 out, 3-0 to Hedges. Murphy Ginger comes set over the top of the 3-0 pitch, taken all the way by Ethan for a strike, and the count 3-1. A couple of basketball players, Shoal Marial and Casey Abekwe, they stand out. They're 7 foot plus, have arrived at the ballpark here tonight. A throw to first base, and back to the bag dives Mason Lee. Quite a few Oregon State men's basketball players have been venturing into the ballpark this summer. The first time I've seen Big Shoal, though. 3-1 the count. First and third, 1 out. The 3-1 pitch taken for a strike, and the count goes full to 3-2. Murphy Ginger trying to engage in some big-time clutch work with the runners at the corners, and 1 out, and behind the count 3-0 to work it back full 3-2. Sam Stem gets his lead from first. He goes. The 3-2 pitch, a tapper towards third. Brasinho's play will be to first. Coming in to score is Mason Lee on the RBI ground out by Ethan Hedges, and the Knights lead it 4-1. Nice job by Ethan. He's 0 for 4, but that's a huge RBI. 4-1 Knights, and Sam Stem now at second for Ethan Hott. Hott, a couple of leg hits in his last 2 at-bats, has been hit by a pitch. 2 for 2 with a run scored and a run batted in. Ginger delivers in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Hott looking for his second RBI, and it's a big one here for the Knights. Pushing a lead to 4 runs with 6 outs to go. Obviously gigantic. The strike 1 pitch inside to Ethan, and the count 1-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Knights with a run in the 6th, a run here in the 7th, and have a chance for another with 2 down. Ginger drops down and delivers just outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Sam Stem at second with 2 down. Tate Shamau, the on-deck hitter. 2 balls and a strike on this warm, beautiful Saturday night in the Mid-Valley. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. And that evens the count to Hott at 2-2. Murphy Ginger reading Luke Bard, his battery mate. Stem getting his lead from second. 4-1 Knights in the 7th inning. Ginger delivers a soft liner caught by Murphy Ginger, and that ends the inning. But the Knights do pick up another big run. An RBI ground out for Ethan Hedges. We go to the 8th. Then a new pitcher will be coming in for the Corvallis Knights, and here he comes, Sean Weiss. He did his thing magnificently here on Thursday night, and he's going to try to do it again before a crowd, an appreciative crowd of 1,137. Knights pioneer playoff baseball, powered by Pioneer Connect, bringing us postseason play again. We go to the 8th. It's the Knights 4 and the Portland Pickles 1. A 3-run lead with 6 outs to go on the Knights live stream. Back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. Sean Weiss to his former teammate Kyler Stancato with the Knights leading 4-1 in the 8th. Drops in a first pitch strike, comes back to Kyler. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Sean 8 pitches here on Thursday to get the save in the South Divisional Series title game. The strike 2 pitch to Stancato, a ground ball to second. Mason Lee fields and throws to first for the out. One away in the top of the 8th inning, and Luke Bard will be the batter. 4-1 Knights in the 8th. Neil Feist was tremendous. Caden Siegel was too through 3. Caden, quite frankly, should not have been scored upon. The run a bit dubious in nature after Caden had made a pickoff move. Calderon was dead to rights, but nobody covered second, and Ethan Edges had no one to get the ball to. Calderon moved into second base and was available then to score on Alejandro Garza's 2-out hit. That was in the 3rd. The Pickles have not scored since against either Siegel or Feist, and now Sean Weiss delivers a strike to Luke Bard. The 0-1 pitch fouled at the plate, and Sean quickly ahead 0-2 to Bard. Luke 0 for 2. Top of the 8th inning, 4-1 Knights. The winner advances to the West Coast League Championship game Monday night. 0-2 to Luke Bard. Sean from the stretch with nobody on. Delivers, hit foul into Urchin Alley to our right. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. 109 degrees expected here on Monday. Again, if the Knights find their way through to win tonight, there could be a little play with the game time Monday night for the title. We'll see. The strike 2 pitch, or we hope we'll see, and at least be having to make a decision about that. Dan Siegel and Bree and company. The strike 2 pitch missing high, and Rob Nyer, the commissioner. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 8th, 4-1 Knights. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. Sean Weiss has retired 5 in a row now in postseason play after the rough go of it last Tuesday night in Longview, giving up the game-winning home run to Marcus Ti'iali'i in the bottom of the 10th. But got the save on Thursday in the decisive Game 3, and if he finishes this one, would have himself another. The first pitch to Nigel Calderon, punched foul down the right field line. No play. No balls and a strike to Calderon, who has walked, had the base hit, and scored the run after a stolen base. Calderon has 3 stolen bases, in fact, on the night for the Pickles. 4-1 Knights in the 8th, 2 outs, nobody on. Sean's strike 1 pitch taken down and in. 1-1 to Nigel Calderon. Alejandro Garza on deck. The Knights a run in the first, a run in the third, a run in the 6th, and a run in the 7th. Lead at 4-1. The Pickles lone tally in the 3rd. Sean to the plate, down the middle for a strike, and the count 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th. 4-1 Knights. Sean nods yes. The veteran lefty in his 3rd summer with the Knights delivers a fly ball to left field. Ethan Hott on the run, dives, lays out, makes the catch, and the inning is over. A championship-like play turned in by Ethan Hott, a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Weiss. We go to the bottom of the 8th at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Corvallis Knights 4, the Portland Pickles 1 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1. The Corvallis Knights leading the Portland Pickles in the West Coast League South Division title game. J.C. Ng pinch hits for Tate Shamau and takes ball 1 from Murphy Ginger. The 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. 2-0 to J.C. Pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-0 pitch, a strike. A tremendous insight, hunch, stroke of genius, whatever you want to call it, by Brooke Knight, calling upon Blake Avila to pinch hit to lead off the bottom of the 8th on Thursday. Avila doubled, and eventually Phoenix Call scored what proved to be the decisive run in the decisive game on Thursday. Here, the pinch hitter J.C. Ng, a comebacker fielded by Ginger, tosses to first, 1 away. Tyler Howard, the batter. Howard's had a heck of a ball game. Single to right in the second, grounded to third in the fourth, a clutch RBI single in the sixth. One out, nobody on, bottom of the eighth, 4-1 Knights. Ginger to the plate, breaking ball down, ball one, 1-0. Murphy again from the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, 1-1 the count. When the Pickles bat in the ninth, Alejandro Garza, Dalton Mayshore, and Evan Cloyd, the scheduled hitters. They're going to need at least 3. The pitch to Howard, whacked to center, base hit. Tyler locked in tonight. A 1-out single to center, his 3rd hit of the game. The Knights with 11 hits on their own, and Phoenix Call will be the batter. Phoenix has hit back to the box, flied to center, and grounded to second. Tyler Howard, 3 really good swings for his base hits. Ginger delivers. Call tried to check his swing but went around. 0-1 to Phoenix. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Brooke Knight wants to know, is it called or a swing? He just wants to confirm with the home plate umpire. I think he called it a strike. Now, he certainly could have said call went around, and he would have been right. The strike one pitch nearly hits Phoenix, and the count 1-1. But a called strike on the pitch, I think, took Brooke a little bit by surprise. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Gorgeous summer night. Temperature holding in the 80s. Breaking ball strike from Ginger, and he's ahead to Phoenix 1-2. Pushing to triple digits tomorrow and Monday, we're told, and a couple of more days thereafter. Summer with a late push, no doubt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball away from Murphy. Ball 2, 2-2. Couple of guys throwing in the Portland Pickles bullpen. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Ginger trying to stay away from the pen, but any further trouble could mean a change. Time called. Phoenix call, granted it. A long wait from Phoenix's part in the right side of the box. Now Murphy ready to go. 2-2 the count with 1 out. Tyler Howard, his 3rd hit of the night, held on by Evan Cloyd. The pitch to Phoenix taken low. Ball 3, 3-2. We'll see if Brooke might send Tyler Howard here. Tyler not fleet of foot, but a 3-2 count with 1 out. Out of the stretch works Ginger. Howard doesn't go. The 3-2 pitch is lashed foul in front of the Portland Pickles dugout on the right side. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Pickles have been a tremendous entry into the West Coast League and filling the void in the beautiful Rose City with baseball. Walker Stadium at Lentz Park, a beautiful park that's so fun to visit, been around since 1956. Ginger over the top, the 3-2 fastball, high and inside for ball 4. Tyler Howard down to second. Good plate appearance for Call to work the walk. Tai Yukamoto, a left-handed hitter, the batter. The Pickles have a righty and a lefty loosening, and Mark Magdaleno again is going to match up and bring a left-hander, it would appear, into the ball game to face Tai Yukamoto. Tai is 0 for 3. Magdaleno matched up with Max Frazier against Yukamoto in the 6th inning. And as he comes out here now, we're expecting to see the southpaw come in and face Yukamoto again, as the Pickles are just trying to keep themselves in this ball game. With the Knights leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th, 2 on and 2 out. And indeed, we'll see a lefty come in from out of the pen, and with that, we'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. The Knights 4, the Pickles 1. Back in 2 in the bottom of the 8th with 2 on and 1 out on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Left-hander Ian Umlant out of the bullpen for the Portland Pickles, who are just trying to hang in this ball game in the bottom of the 8th. They trail it 4-1 and have only 3 outs remaining them. So it's a gigantic situation that Ian inherits out of Tualatin. Bottom of the 8th, the Knights with 2 on and 1 out. Looking in a very real sense, it feels like, to kind of seal the deal. With certainly one would get them close. A couple would probably accomplish that. Umlaut, 6 foot, 216-pound lefty, hometown of Tualatin, but went to Sherwood High School. "17 appearances for Oregon out of the bullpen this past spring. Umlaut, with the Knights leading 4-1, 2 on and 1 out, come set. Brought in to face the left-hand hitting Tai Yukamoto. Throws to his shortstop Alejandro Garza. With Tyler Howard at second, Phoenix Call at first, and 1 out. Ian in the left-on-left situation, summoned specifically to face Yukamoto, starts him a little bit high and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Ty has struck out, popped to third, and flied to center. Tyler Howard at second. Phoenix Call at first. 1 out. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Umlaut's 1-0 pitch. Ty swings and hits it foul off third. It will carry into the Jack Riley concourse. The count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. John Casey pacing nervously, a la Dan Siegel, through the Jack Riley concourse tonight. Jack was the one who handed the Oregon State baseball program off to a gentleman by the name of Pat Casey. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 1 out. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. The 1-1 pitch, Yukamoto shows bunt, takes outside. Ball 2, 2-1. The Knights looking to take with them a little bit bigger of a lead. They enjoy a 4-1 advantage now, 3 outs away from the championship game, but looking to add on. Yukamoto swings a looper at the second baseman, Josh Schleichart. The infield fly rule was invoked. Schleichart makes the catch. 2 down. Tyler Quinn, a right-handed hitter, the batter. There is a right-hander at the ready in the bullpen, and Mark Magdaleno is going to match up with that right-hander. So all the while, it's a long wait for Sean Weiss. The only downside, if the Knights do not cash in here, Carter Delaney, the right-hander, will be coming in. Sean's got to kind of get himself back in the vein. He was in a really good groove last inning, the top of this inning, retiring the Pickles in order. He's got a long wait, and it'll all be worth it if the Knights get him another run or 2. Carter Delaney will be coming in to face Tyler Quinn with 2 on and 2 out. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. Another matchup by Magdaleno, and we'll be back in 2 on the Knights live stream. Back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. Right-hander Carter Delaney, 6'5", 210, El Dorado Hills, California, from UC Davis. Junior right-hander making his 13th appearance, 25 innings, 24 hits, 12 walks, 37 strikeouts, 0-2, an ERA of 2.52. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th, 2 on and 2 out. Delaney has a pitch go off the mitt of his battery mate, Luke Bard, and the Knights runners move up 90 feet. Now, I'm going to write that one in as a passed ball, almost as though it appeared as though Luke Bard may have been crossed up a little bit by the pitch. He certainly didn't catch it cleanly. Tyler Howard into third. Into second goes Phoenix Call. And now Tyler Quinn could deliver what would amount to practically a knockout punch if he's able to get a 2-out hit here and score 2. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 pitch inside. Ball 2, 2-0 from Carter Delaney. Bottom of the 8th, a long half inning. The Knights would make it all worthwhile if they're able to come through with a 2-out hit. The 2-0 pitch, a little low, ball 3. Delaney worked 2 1/3 innings in the series against Ridgefield. Went 3 hits with a run. It was earned with a walk and 2 strikeouts. 3-0 to Tyler Quinn. Tyler Howard at third. Phoenix Call at second. 2 down. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th. Big leg kick from Carter. The 3-0 pitch is down and in to load him up. Ball 4. Mason Lee, who is 3 for 3 and has scored 3 runs, on his way to the plate. He has been the man all night long and has a chance to, in a very real sense, seal the deal with one more base hit here. Bases loaded and 2 down for Mason. Scored 3 of the Knights' 4 runs, a 3-hit night. Delaney to the plate and delivers a first pitch strike to Mason, who appeared to be making Carter deliver a strike. Carter complies. Bases loaded, 2 down. Howard at third, Call at second, Quinn at first. The strike 1 pitch misses low, and the count 1-1 to Mason. 4-1 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights are 3 outs away from reaching the championship game for a 7th consecutive time. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. With the sacks full, Mason Lee awaits. Delaney delivers, and the Pickles still have life. A pop-up on the right side. First baseman Evan Cloyd over to make the catch. The Knights leave 3, and Sean Weiss had to sit and watch for a long time. The Knights were not able to add to the lead in leaving 3 men on. But the Knights have the redoubtable Sean Weiss 3 outs away from sending the Knights to the championship game Monday night. Sean looking for those last 3 as we go to the 8th. The Knights 4 and Portland 1 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and 1240 Joe Radio. Top of the 9th inning, 4-1 Knights in the South Division Championship game. Sean Weiss, after a long wait in the bottom half, a fruitless one in the end as the Knights left the bases loaded, have left 10 on and 6 in scoring position. Delivers to Alejandro Garza, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Alejandro in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Alejandro Garza, Dalton Mayshore, and Evan Cloyd, the scheduled hitters for the Pickles. Top of the 9th inning, 4-1 Knights. Sean Weiss from the stretch with nobody on. The 1-1 pitch, a fly ball to right field. Sam Stem is right there. Sam makes the catch, 1 away. Sean Weiss, 2 outs away from delivering the Knights into the championship game and getting his 2nd straight save in postseason. He retired the Black Bears in order on Thursday in the 9th. He's retired the first 4 Pickles hitters he's encountered. Dalton Mayshore, 1 for 3, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. 4-1 Knights, 1 out, top of the 9th inning. The Knights trying to play their way into the fervent heat of Monday night. The strike 1 pitch, fastball high from Sean, and the count 1-1. 109 degrees expected by day come Monday. 4-1 Knights, top of the 9th inning, 2 outs away from their 7th straight foray into the championship. Fastball from Weiss, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Evan Cloyd on deck. The Pickles' lone run back in the 3rd. The Knights with singletons here and there lead at 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Sean Weiss from the stretch. The left-hander's 1-2 pitch. Fastball foul back. Mayshore does a nice job to stay alive. 1-2 the count. Sean peering in to Tyler Howard. The left-hander Arizona Christian Bound from George Fox and the University of Hawaii. Set, kicks, delivers a pop-up on the left side. Going out is Yukamoto. Coming in is Hot. It's Hot, the left fielder, calling to make the catch. 2 down. Weiss and the Knights are 1 out away from advancing to the championship game on Monday. 4-1 Corvallis, 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 9th inning. Evan Cloyd has flied to center, single to center, and grounded into a double play. Magnificent pitching tonight from Caden Siegel, Neil Feist, and now Sean trying to finish it off again. First pitch strike to Evan Cloyd, 0-1 the count. The Knights with those single runs in the 1st, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th. Sean now an out away. The strike 1 pitch, a ground ball back of 3rd, fielded by Quinn. Long throw to 1st, gets him, and the Knights advance to the championship game again. Sean Weiss, a 2-inning, 6-batter save. The Knights defeat the Portland Pickles in the winner-take-all South Division title game here at Goss. Final score, the Knights 4 and Portland 1, and the Knights will play host to the championship game against either Victoria or Bellingham here on Monday night. Good ball game, well pitched. 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Knights. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Portland. The Knights coaches shaking hands and a few hugs here and there for the Portland Pickles staff. The Knights, with home field advantage, take full advantage of it by winning the last 2 against Cowlitz here on Wednesday and Thursday, getting the well-deserved day off yesterday and coming back at home tonight to defeat the Portland Pickles 4-1 and moving into the championship game on Monday night. Tonight's playoff game, again, presented by our friends at Pioneer Connect. We'll do it one more time. That's all we know, that the Knights have a chance for a 7th consecutive West Coast League championship come Monday. The game is scheduled for 6:35. Whether there's any play along those lines, stay tuned and keep following social media, CorvallisKnights.com. Possibility, if it is going to be 108, 109 degrees and still in that range at 6:30, projected to be anyway, it's possible that Dan Siegel and Rob Nyer and the team that the Knights play in either Victoria or Bellingham could decide together to go a little bit later to try to ease the burden for the ball players and the fans a little bit on Monday night. But that's great that the Knights have to deal with a decision along those lines. They put themselves in that position with a 4-1 win. Caden Siegel, Neil Feist, and Sean Weiss, outstanding pitching to bring it home. Mason Lee with 3 hits and 3 runs scored. Ethan Hott with 2 runs batted in. Sam Stem with a run batted in. And the Knights, well, the beat goes on. They look for their 7th straight title on Monday. For Casey Lavin, Thomas Rudolph, Andrew Henderson, Garrett Dworshak, Dale Hummel, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. The Knights play their way into the championship game Monday. Our final score, the Knights 4 and the Portland Pickles 1. Stay cool, everybody, and we'll see you Monday night for the West Coast League Championship. It has been officially moved to 8 o'clock. We just now have seen up on the board the game has been officially moved to 8 o'clock Monday night, an hour and a half later than the scheduled time. 8 o'clock come Monday, the Knights against either Victoria or Bellingham to settle the West Coast League Championship. The Knights get it done again, 4-1 over Portland. See you Monday on the Knights live stream at 1240 Joe Radio. So long, everybody.